Hey guys, you're watching Firewood on the Hill. My name is Matt. Today I'm gonna bring you a video, guys, that I've been wanting to share. I just been getting all my ducks in a row for it. It's also a video that a lot of you guys are gonna be very interested in. Ever since I received this vertical splitter from Wolf Ridge, I've been doing a lot of comparison videos versus a horizontal versus a vertical, 28 Pro C versus the 17 VS. Today I'm gonna bring you a comparison of vertical versus horizontal. This video does not pertain to these specific machines. So this is all vertical splitters, all horizontal splitters. What I've done today, guys, is I've put 5 categories out there that I'm going to compare a vertical versus horizontal. And these 5 categories are speed and productivity, waste, which that is like how much waste each splitter provides, control and quality, maneuverability, and ease and comfort. So I'll explain each one of these terms and how I am comparing the two machines. So first, we'll talk about speed and productivity. In my case, from using both splitters, I believe that the horizontal splitter is gonna have more speed and more productivity than a vertical splitter. And my reasons for this is, one, 4-way wood. 4-way wood is a round that you can send through one time, get 4 pieces, and you're done with it. This, I would say, is 10 inches and smaller, would be a good size for 4-way wood. So my first reason for picking the horizontal over vertical for speed and productivity is the 4-way wedge, right? Or a 6-way wedge or a 12-way wedge. If you can find the right size wood, those wedges will speed up productivity quite a bit. My second point for horizontal versus vertical is, on a horizontal splitter, multiple people can be splitting, right? So you can have a person on each side of the splitter, as well as you can have a person on the end of the splitter to take off the split pieces. A vertical, there's not really much the second person can do other than load the log lift, and the problem with that is a lot of times the log lift takes the power of the splitter, so you're slowing down the splitter when you're putting wood on the log lift. And then my third reason for a horizontal over the vertical is auto cycle or auto retract. Even box store splitters have auto retract, right? And what I'm getting at is, while that's auto retract or auto splitting, you as the person who's splitting can go grab other wood and bring it to the splitter while you do that, so you're multitasking. With a vertical splitter, you're always holding that round, you're always having to push the lever, and you're constantly touching it, so you can't just do 2 things at once, right? So that's why I give the horizontal versus vertical the edge on speed and productivity. Now my second category is waste. That is like the slash, the extra little pieces, the just crap that falls off the splitter when you're splitting. The vertical is going to win a horizontal splitter hands down because it's a single knife. With a single knife, you can be much more precise and you have less slash. So the vertical splitter gets the waste category versus the horizontal splitter. So we're 1 and 1 for vertical and horizontal. So my next category is control and quality. And I give the vertical splitter the advantage to that over the horizontal splitter, because with the vertical splitter you have a single wedge knife. That means you can control how big your splits are, you can control the quality of your splits, and you have less waste, right? With a horizontal splitter, if you have a multi-wedge, a lot of times it doesn't actually split the wood, it kind of tears the wood, especially a box wedge splitter, right? It's going to shear wood instead of cut it a lot of times. So your wood is not as good quality wood as if you were using a vertical splitter or a single wedge splitter with that, because you can do single wedge splitting on a horizontal. It's not going to be as fast. So that's why the vertical splitter has the advantage of control and quality over the horizontal splitter. My fourth category is maneuverability, and I'm going to give that to the horizontal splitter. And the reason I'm going to do that is, I'll turn around and show you guys. A vertical splitter is going to be a lot bigger platform. It's going to take up a lot more space, and because it has 4 points of contact, it's a lot harder to set up. So for example, with this vertical splitter, you have 1 point of contact, 2 points of contact, 3 points of contact, and 4 points of contact. So what you have to do is essentially level this machine out, and a lot of times that's hard to do if you're on a slope like I am. So what I actually had to do is I actually had to dig out underneath the tire to lower this side down to level out the machine. So that's why the horizontal, I literally pulled the horizontal over here and sat here just for this video, and it's only that quick. So also the other point is the horizontal. Obviously you can have different sizes of horizontals and verticals, but more likely a horizontal splitter is going to take up less room than the vertical splitter, as well as the horizontal splitter you can split on either side. So that's why I give the horizontal splitter the advantage on maneuverability. So to recap, before we get to the fifth and final category, the horizontal wins the speed and productivity. The vertical wins the waste, less waste than the horizontal splitter. Then you have quality and control. The vertical wins that, so that's 2 to 1 so far. Maneuverability, the horizontal splitter is going to be more maneuverable, more easy to set up, and also easier to work around because it has a smaller platform. So that's 2 to 2 right there. And the last, and I think very important, is ease and comfort. And this category is very, very hard for me to choose which one I like better, and I'll give you the reasons why. A vertical splitter is going to be a lot easier to use for anyone that wants to walk up the splitter and use it. All you have is one pedal that moves the vertical wedge up and down, and you have one lever that moves the hydraulic wedge up and down. With a horizontal splitter, you have more hydraulic valves, so you have to learn those, as well as you have to learn the height of the wedge. So guys, this is the idea of a horizontal splitter. This is what I mean by you have 4 handles. This can get confusing if you're new to running the machine, as well as you have a wedge right here that lifts up and down. So you have to make sure that's in the right position. So that could slow your process down if you're not good at that. So a lot of that takes time, a lot of it takes skill to see that and move quickly. So as far as user-friendly, I think the vertical splitter is way more user-friendly, but I think the horizontal splitter is less work. And a lot of y'all are going to be like, what do you mean by that? What I mean by that is a horizontal splitter, it holds the wood for you, right? You put the wood in the cradle, you press the levers, and it goes. With a vertical splitter, you're having to hold the piece of wood, turn the piece of wood. You're constantly holding the wood throughout the whole process. With a horizontal splitter, you throw it on the log lift, the log lift lifts it, puts it in the cradle, you hit the levers, and you're done. Other than the fact that if you do have wood that needs to be resplit, you grab it and bring it back, but then you're grabbing it and just putting it right back in the cradle and letting the splitter do the work. Whereas a vertical, you're constantly holding that log or that round, you're having to move it, you're having to adjust it, you're always having to do something, and it's not automated. So guys, I want to show y'all what I mean by automation of a horizontal splitter. You put the wood on the log lift lifts it up, puts it in the cradle here, you press your levers, it splits, it retracts, you do the same thing over and over. So what you're doing is you're technically not touching the wood unless you're going to line it up, or if the splits are too big and you want to bring them back. Another part of automation that a horizontal splitter does that a vertical splitter doesn't is it will push wood away from the splitter. So you technically do not have to touch the split wood if you have a conveyor there and it's just pushing it. Now I know sometimes it gets blocked up and you have to push it off, but in a perfect world you shouldn't have to do that. Now with a vertical splitter, what I have to do is I would put the wood on the log lift will lift it up and get it about right here. I then have to scoot it with my hands, and when I'm splitting, I'm constantly have to hold the wood and turn it, split it, and then I have to push it off. So you see guys, I got a predicament here. So the vertical is more user-friendly, right? It's way easier to use. It takes less skill, I'd say, to run that. The horizontal splitter is something that you have to get used to, something you have to learn the height of the wedge, you have to learn all the controls and stuff like that. But the horizontal splitter is automated, right? You throw the wood in there, you're not holding it, you press your levers and it goes through. The only time you're touching wood is if you're bringing it back to resplit. So another thing to keep in mind, guys, so the horizontal is more automated, less touches. The vertical is easier to use, but more touches. But here's the kicker too. The vertical splitter is easier on your back, but it does put more pressure on your shoulders, your chest, your arms, whereas the horizontal only messes with your back. This one's really, really hard for me to pick a winner, right? So I'm gonna let you guys pick the winner. So we are tied 2 to 2, with the last category being ease and comfort of each machine. I don't know which one to choose, guys. I want y'all to throw a comment down in the comments, and let me know which one y'all think, if y'all have actually used both or not. So I hope this information is useful for you guys. I hope it really is an eye-opener for you guys. There is some things that I left out of this comparison, and I'll tell you why. I don't want to look at these splitters behind me and tell you the advantage and disadvantage of each of these splitters, because it might be different than other horizontal and vertical splitters. I want this video to be used by anyone and everyone who's looking at splitters and deciding whether they want to go vertical or horizontal. I wanted to bring this video to you guys just to show you the bigger picture of a vertical versus horizontal. I didn't get into any of the details of, you know, like motors, tonnage, splitting force, cycle times, all that good stuff, because that's per model, right? So guys, I hope you like this video. I hope you can learn from this. This was actually difficult for me to put together just because I wanted to be fair. I didn't want to compare machines necessarily. I just wanted to compare like the idea of the machines, you know, like a vertical versus horizontal, not necessarily model versus model or brand versus brand. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.